On today's show, Barb and I are going to make a Pan Tikka Masala. It has a lot of really good spices and ingredients. It has ginger and lemon and butter, garlic, onions. We have some red potatoes that we're going to bake up with onions and garlic. This is going to be delicious. Let's get started. Hi everyone, welcome back to the Diabetic Diet Show. Hey Barb, what's the question of the day?
Do you like chicken? If you like chicken, give a thumbs up.
I have the oven preheating to 400. Let's go through some of the ingredients. I'm using little cherry tomatoes. I've sliced them in half long ways. Move them out of the way. The ginger I brought out of the freezer and I scraped the outside off it. You could use your grater and then throw it away or use a spoon. But then once it starts to warm up enough, you can go ahead and run it right down the grater and make your ginger. And I do have measurements on this, but I think ginger, onion, garlic, just use as much as you want. And if you want to see the exact measurements, that would be right down there where it says the subscribe button, and then you'll see the more, and you can go ahead and follow those directions if you want. So here we go. That is the ginger. That's all set. So that puts us in good shape. Then I've already cut up the potatoes, mixed them with onions, and then I just threw them in the freezer overnight. So I did those yesterday. The onions, I went ahead and cut up half of an onion, so half of a large onion. And what I'm planning on doing is using my food processor. I have the lemon juice all set and ready to go. I have my spices all set and ready to go, as well as my garlic. So what I'm going to do is to put my onions in here, and this just makes them so they're easier to digest. And just grab a lid. There we go. My onions are all cut up. Let's use some oil in our pan. Let's use canola oil, just a splash of it. And then grab a spatula here and get my fire going. I always like to put it on high to start it. Move my oil around in my pan, and then I'll turn it down to low here in just a minute. So let's get these onions in here. This is a pretty easy recipe. You can work all day and then come home and make a recipe like this. Here's the garlic. Here's the spices. Okay, and here is the butter. Now you can use milk or heavy cream or yogurt with this recipe. And I'm going to use yogurt. My oven has come up to temperature now. So I'm going to cook these until they're done. I don't have a time on it, but you know chicken has to get between 160 and 165. Okay, we need some ginger. I may have got overzealous in my ginger. I think I'll just use half. One time I used too much ginger, and that was certainly a surprise. And olive oil. Just a little splash just for the taste, because I already have the canola oil in there. Which, you know, the canola oil doesn't have as good a taste as the olive oil does. That's olive oil with mushrooms, so I just put a little splash in there. Now, potatoes. For the potatoes, I have a cookie sheet, and we need to spray the cookie sheet with Pam. There we go, now it's coming to a boil. It's amazing, when you got the fire lit, it actually works. Okay, here's our potatoes. Potatoes and onions. Okay, I'm going to turn this fire off because that is boiling now. Let's throw this in the oven. Just like that. Then, just give this one last stir. There you go. Now it'll start to cool off just a little bit, so let's go ahead and get our chicken. Okay, there's just 2 of us, so I'm doing 4 pieces. Just like this. Throw our tomatoes in here. Since I already did the chicken in there once, give them a stir just to work them in. And now we'll put this in the oven, and then I'll check it with a thermometer to make sure they're 160, 165. We are down to our last few seconds here. This is looking delicious. I've been checking the chicken and the potatoes as we go along, and they are done. Careful you don't splash yourself with that hot oil like I just did. That was a little warm. All right, let's get the stuff out of the oven. Here is the chicken. And the potatoes. One of the things I did a few minutes ago was I sprayed olive oil on top of the potatoes, and then I sprinkled them with salt because I didn't do that earlier, and that just kind of oils them up, makes them look good, makes them taste good. So of course keep an eye on your chicken, make sure you're 160, 165. And I am, so I'm good here. Now we can serve this up. It's pretty simple, quick, easy, straightforward recipe. Just gotta mix these up a little bit. Get a spoon here, it'll probably be easier. I love this potatoes and onions, they're so good. Just like that. Then we get our sauce with the tomatoes. Put some sauce right on top like that. And if you like eating these kind of recipes, making things like this, or just plain watching recipes like this, I have some more right here.